Beware psychiatrists. Let me tell you a little story. I have not had a whole lot of luck with women. I'll just put it this way. In my last divorce, my now ex-wife's lawyer told me that the only way I would ever get a chance at a reconciliation is if I went to a psychiatrist that they had made an appointment for me at and did exactly what he or she said. So I said, of course, I'll go. When's the appointment? Tomorrow at 1:30. So I took half a day off at work. I went to the psychiatrist's office. I filled out all the paperwork. I was sitting in the waiting room all by myself reading a Forbes magazine. I went to the University of Florida. Business is my thing, finance especially. So when it was my turn, the nurse said, okay, go on back and talk to the doctor. I went back and walked into his office. At his desk, he was sitting writing something. I thought maybe he was starting a folder, a file for me. And he just pointed to a chair. I sat down. After about 40 seconds or so, he looked at me and he said, Mr. So-and-so, and he did say my real name, you have bipolar disorder. And I responded immediately, excuse my expression, what the hell is that? And then he explained it. And I promptly explained to him that all my life I had been trained to speak fast because I owned fast food restaurants. And then I told him I was trained to jump from idea to idea because I had to watch all my employees because every mistake they made came out of my pocket. I had to talk to customers. I had to direct deliveries. I had all kinds of things going on at the same time. And every mistake made, once again, the money came out of my pocket. But then he said, you have bipolar disorder. And I said, okay. And then I remembered, if I don't do exactly what he says, I will never get a chance at a reconciliation. And I said, okay, what happens now? He said, I'm going to put you on 2 different psychiatric medications. Okay, now I'm not going to go into, at this point, what happened to me because of those psychiatric medications. You see, I don't have bipolar disorder. I do have PTSD from childhood trauma, but not bipolar disorder. So when you take those medications and you do not need them, very uniquely strange things can happen to you. And they did. So let me recap. I sat down, hadn't said a word in the office except, here's the paperwork. After he sat there for 45 seconds or so, writing, he just looked at me and said, instantly, you have bipolar disorder. Now, how did he do that? And why did he do that? And how could he possibly know I had bipolar disorder without even so much as asking me a single question? And he told me about I talk too fast and my mind jumps around. But I hadn't said anything yet. So, beware. Beware. I think it's called something like the Goldwater effect, that psychiatrists will automatically diagnose you without so much as saying hello. So please, beware. Beware. And I will, in a future video, explain to you exactly what those medications can do if you do not need them, or it can do if you do need them, if you happen to be so unlucky as to be bipolar. Thank you for listening. If you want more information and if you would like to help me, please hit the subscribe button. And remember, you can get a young person's perspective from capital G-A-B-E, capital B-I-N-K. Once again, thank you. And how about hitting a like for this too? Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.